What's happening, everyone? It is Saturday, and God blessed us with another chance. Therefore, do not discontinue good things out of fear. It is time to pick up where you've left off. Welcome back to Safe Space Saturdays, picking up where you left off. My name is Vanessa, and I think that one of the most common things that we do as humans is ignore our feelings because our feelings are either shut down or the people that we want to have interest in our feelings do not, or we may show up in places where our feelings are not welcome. And that's why today's topic is feel your feelings. Can you relate to not allowing yourself to feel your feelings? This happens to us as children well into adulthood. So, for example, I myself, when I'm driving and my kids ask where we're going, they feel curious, right? And that is why I explain to them where we're going because I am present in their feelings. But if I want to protect my own feelings, I will probably say, just sit back or don't worry about it, and that shuts down their feelings, which I've been on both sides of this before, so much so that when I did say just sit back or don't worry about it, it was because my day wasn't going great, and that affected my kids because I shut out their feelings. And so being convicted by something like that has helped me to be more open to how my kids feel. Feelings are feelings, no matter what. No matter our age, we are born with feelings from birth to death. So I say that to say, if I don't ignore my own feelings, then I can respond appropriately to what's in front of me. And if that's a human interaction, then I will most likely consider the feelings of others as well. And I was reminded of this recently when someone stopped me in the midst of running errands before I went into the store. So, sometimes we run into people that just start talking to us like they knew us forever. Hey, what's in this aisle? Oh, you got kids too. What's the best sippy cup on this aisle? And man, can I get your opinion real quick about this? Or, and that makes me feel good because that means that I'm approachable as opposed to like growing up where people say, oh, you always look mean and you always look this and that. So, so I was reminded of this recently. Someone stopped me before going into a store and said, can I ask you a question? I say, yeah. So they goes on to say, I've been with this person for this amount of time, and you would think that they would prioritize me because I provide, I feed, I provide, I pay the bills, I do this and that. But this person always goes a distance to see someone else, a family member, they called it, which is from, like, if you live in Philly, Bristol to South Philly. That's pretty far. So they go this distance to see other people, and I'm the one providing for this person, and I'm doing this and I'm doing that. And, what are your thoughts about that? And I said, well, sir, you are being used. And I can only say that because I survived. I'm on the other side of someone used to use me. I don't know if I'm saying it correctly, but this is something I survived. So I can identify it when, as he was explaining it, like, you're doing all these things because the fact is, this is what I said. If I'm eating, if I'm going to and from and all of that is provided for, not only am I thinking God, I'm thinking of the person that's doing those things for me. So, I don't know how much you are considered, but I know that that person does think of you in certain ways because you are doing so much. If I'm going to get my nails done and somebody paying for my nails, or I'm getting my hair done, somebody paying for my, you thank the Lord, but you think like, man, I'm grateful for that person. Kudos to them. So, if this is a relationship thing and you're paying these type of fees and providing, you would think that that person would rather spend time with you, so to speak. So this whole thing reminded me of not only, well, let me get back to it, because afterwards he went on to say, well, I started to speak about God and how God loves us and we should love ourselves as God loves us. And he went on to say, well, I'm a pastor. And, he didn't want to throw God in it beforehand, just throw God in it. He wanted to get advice from somebody just to see where they would go with it and if they would include God as well, and I was that person in his path, thank God for that. But he went on to say, being as though I'm a pastor, sometimes I need a pastor. Teachers, therapists need therapists, and teachers need teaching, and that sort of thing, which is why he said that he stopped me in the first place, because he was in need of something that he knew better, but he couldn't do better. He needed words to do better because he knew better, but he just couldn't do better. And he shut his feelings out based on love. Because I asked him, I said, why can't you emotionally detach yourself from somebody that's taking so much from you? And he said, love. And you want to love somebody, you want to hope that they love you back at some point, and all of those things. So we rapped for a little bit and then we wrapped it up. But I say that to say, like, that whole story, that whole thing just reminded me of not only feelings, but the circle of life in general. Because I always think that the older we get, what I meant to say is, I always think that the older we get, the easier it is for others to understand us based on how we feel. But really, our feelings are feelings that we should allow ourselves to feel. And in this way, we can become more mature when facing people that don't take our feelings serious. Because, see, God is always here to convict us, and taking our feelings to Him can bring a great direction and purpose. So, take some time to allow yourselves to feel. We should all take some time to allow ourselves to feel our feelings and be sober minded when doing so, because life is short and some of us can still say that we don't know ourselves. Age is a number, but our feelings don't have an age. I'll see you in the next episode. If you made it to the end of this week's episode in Safe Space Saturdays, picking up where you left off, I want to say thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for engaging. And I want to let you guys know that I do want to give you guys a chance to connect. If you're interested in having a conversation with me during Safe Space Saturdays, picking up where you left off, you can put your inquiry in via email, which is discoveredandknown 2020@gmail.com, and we can discuss whether it would be over the phone or on a Zoom. And again, I just want to say thank you so much for tuning in. I will see you guys in next week's episode.